Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the reason that I haven't been posting a lot on YouTube lately is because just in general, social media, even TikTok, where I've been posting when I'm not on YouTube, has felt very much like I'm like boxing myself in. Every time I go to record a video, every time I record anything where I'm like trying to show people something and explain the concept, and I do all my little drawings and whatever, or I try to like format it nicely. If I do it for YouTube, like I'll try and talk calmly and like, like in a slow way and whatever, just so that people understand it, is kind of ruining the ideas for me. Like every time I go to post, like I'm getting more frustrated when I try to make these videos because I can just tell that it's inauthentic to me. And so I'm going to make these videos now where I just like literally talk to you like I'm just rambling to myself. So you can fast forward through it, you can not watch it if you don't want to, whatever you want to do, but I'm just going to start talking about things that I understand, things that I've learned, because there's so much that comes through on the daily, and I just like can't always share it with you guys because I'm like trying to format it, because all these people online want videos that are just quick, fast-paced, have facts just right there for you, so you don't need to wait around, you don't need to listen, but that's just not how my mind work, especially this level of like awareness of myself and this level of authenticity. Like I can't force it anymore. I can't force myself into a box. I am a messy person in terms of my mind, in terms of how I speak. I'm chaotic. My past videos, the way that I spoke in those, like a lot of the time, like I was really forcing myself to speak calmly, to like be relaxed. And I think that's what everyone expects of a spiritual teacher, is to speak in this calm way, to just be very relaxed, very peaceful all the time. But that's actually a concept that I wanted to speak on in my videos, because that's really not the truth of spirituality. And I feel like I want to be the one to sort of like bring this new concept of spirituality to the world, because the way that I see it, spirituality is this combination of both masculine and feminine. And the traditional spiritual teachings are very masculine focused. They're kind of in this way focused of being the observer. You're being the watcher of yourself, right? You're watching your thoughts, letting them so-called like flow through you. But in being the observer, it's essentially like, think of yourself like there's this beach and you're just sitting on the beach all the time, observing yourself. You're sitting on the dry land, and eventually it's sort of like if you're always sitting on the dry land, you're going to eventually sort of like shrivel up, like, which is not to say like that's bad. I mean, that's part of life, right? But when you also consider the feminine, which is jumping into the water, you can kind of keep yourself youthful longer. You keep this creative side of yourself. You keep the childlike part of yourself, because traditional spiritual teaching has you become the father, has you become the watcher. But in my version of spirituality, at least the way that I've learned it and understood it from the downloads that I receive all of the time, and the downloads I receive are from going inwards and, letting myself surrender to like this darkness within myself, basically, like, is that like you want to keep the child part of yourself alive just as much as the father. You want to be the child and the father. And to do that means sometimes letting yourself be the child, as in express emotion, like express yourself loudly, laugh loudly, be noisy, like be angry sometimes, but also surrender to your mind, as in don't always feel the need to be awareness, because awareness will always be present no matter what. You don't have to be it to have awareness be there. You don't have to be awareness. And this is something that's like the most misleading thing with spirituality, is that you have to become the awareness itself. But in doing that, you lose your humanness. You lose the human part of yourself. And that's really sad to me, because that's where emotion is. That's where like, creativity and fun and like intimacy and like all these things, these like messy things, that's where they exist. Like the mess is where life is. Because think of it like, as in, if you were to pass away, you go flatline, right? It's a flat line. It's a straight line. And that's what awareness is. So to be alive is to be in motion. Energy in motion is emotion. So you want to keep jumping in the ocean sometimes, but then come out on land. It's kind of like you're a whale or something. You go down and you come back up. You go down, come up. And every time you go down, you come up with some sort of new knowledge or new realization. And by continuing to advance your understanding of yourself, by continuing to remain like open to new things, creative, childlike, this is how like you keep yourself young. So I was going to talk about this in a later video, but it's the idea of like stem cells. Have you ever heard of them, and how stem cells, can be used to help to like rejuvenate your cells, rejuvenate you. Basically, they can help to rebuild tissue and things like that, right? Because they're kind of like a no-name thing. They're like the original seed without anything, I don't even know how to word this, applied to it yet. Like, it's just a blank canvas, sort of. So in my mind, stem cells are very similar to creating branches. Like, the more that you can create a network within yourself, the more you can sort of like keep branching off creatively into new ideas, like keep being open to new sparks. As in, like, you know, in meditation, you might hear a random word, you might sort of like write that word down and then go from there. Like, keep writing random words that you get, and then maybe later on those words come together and they make sense to you, because sometimes things don't make sense in the moment. But the more you stay open to like these creative downloads or just creative ideas that sort of pop into your head, like, this is what keeps you young. And I say it keeps you young because you start to build a network. Like, the more that you branch off and you have these understandings about yourself, you keep building these new stems. It's like you keep branching off and branching off. And when you do this, it's very similar to the idea of like collagen or something. Collagen itself is like a network, right? Like, it's like all these, it's like strengthening the bonds, like strengthening things, and also keeping yourself elastic though at the same time, keeping yourself open. And another thing too that I want to talk about is this idea of like I just said, not being awareness all the time. So what this means is allowing yourself to slow down sometimes, and collapse inwards. Like, the collapse is actually not bad. So this means not needing to be awareness all the time, as in like letting go of awareness, sort of like dropping into your body. And this is what spirituality doesn't teach on, is the dropping inwards. You're going to feel yourself sort of like, you might feel heavy sometimes, you might feel really weighed down. This is the time when you want to just like let go. It's like in the movie Finding Nemo, when Dory tells Marlin to just like fall into the whale's mouth. Like, she doesn't know what will happen, but she says she just trusts it. It's like that. Like, you want to let yourself fall, because in falling, you will rise again. And you'll rise better than before, because when you fall, it's sort of like a collapse. You fall into, it's kind of like a black hole, and then you reignite something again. It's like an explosion, and your reality reopens again. This is something that you won't consciously be aware of, but it's sort of like a star, like imploding and then whatever. Anyways, I don't even know if this is making sense, but this is the type of video I wanted to share. I just wanted to ramble and try and tell you the things that I've been understanding. So anyways, it's like the death and rebirth cycle. So you're going to collapse inwards, and then you're going to be reborn again. And this is the way that we begin to heal ourselves as well. So if you have any problems going on in your life, another thing that's really helpful is being able to express them outwardly. Express your problems, say them out loud, and then after saying them, don't try and fix them, but just leave space. Leave an opening, like leave a window open, and then let the universe come in to fill that space with something new, because it will resolve it for you. And in resolving it for you, this is usually where that collapse occurs. It's like when your reality collapses, which again, this happens all the time, this rebirth cycle, it's like a rearranging of your reality. It's like things are moved around, things are reorganized so that you can like fare better the next time around in your cycle. You're literally creating a new version of your timeline every single time. Like a lot of traditional spiritual teaching too, not even just regular spiritual teaching, but like manifestation teaching, teaches you to fix every negative thought, to say a positive one for every negative one or something like that, which is something that you really don't need to do. You're actually going to throw yourself more out of balance if you try to do that, because what you really need is to be able to express the negative and then allow the positive to be filled by your higher self. Literally allow your higher self to fix it for you. You're not the one that's supposed to fix it. You're the one that's supposed to surrender the things that are bothering you to this higher version of yourself. And then the higher version of yourself is going to fix it. It's going to be like the new version of you comes in with those things healed, if that makes sense. So you're going to express your problems and then let go, let yourself surrender, let yourself relax. Don't try and fix it. And then a new version of yourself will be born with those things healed, like at a core level. So slowly in your reality, you will start to see that you're able to move forward better than you could before. You're going to fare better than before. It's sort of like having a do-over of your life, but now you're coming back to the same point in time, but with those things healed within you. And if you do express a positive thing out loud, like an affirmation or something, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but what you will experience if you express a positive thing that you don't fully believe yet, that doesn't fully resonate with you yet, because when I talk about speaking the negative, that's really just speaking your truth in this moment. You're just speaking what's going on in your life and being honest about it so that your higher self can kind of like connect you with what you need in that moment. It's really like if you say what you are going through in this moment, then your higher self can actually help you. But if you lie about it, which isn't wrong necessarily, like you're intending for something better. It's not like you're doing something bad. But if you say something like, I am this or I am that, and you don't fully believe it, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a gap between like where you are and where you want to be. And so that gap has to be closed. So you're going to be squeezed basically, and you're going to have to release whatever is in between that gap. So that's where you get like the really emotional stuff coming up. Whereas if you go and express the negative first and let yourself sort of like slowly move forward, then you don't really go through so much emotional turmoil or anything like that, because you're just like allowing the universe to move along with you. Like you're in alignment with yourself basically, because you're being truthful, and you actually might find that things move faster that way because you're consistently able to express yourself too, and it just feels so much more natural when you just are able to talk about things and not have to hold anything in. And this goes back to like what I was talking about with spiritual teachers and telling you to just observe your thoughts. Observing your thoughts doesn't necessarily heal everything for many people. At least for me, it definitely doesn't. When I'm just observing my thoughts, like it does not help me to get rid of the really deep-rooted things that are bothering me. I have to talk those out. I have to break them down into chunks by speaking them out. And by doing that, then only then can that knot inside of me be like unraveled, right? And that is the thing that helps to keep you young as well. Like I'm talking about also aging, like looking younger, feeling younger in your body, like keeping you free from any disease or anything like that, because you are allowing things to be broken down and replaced, basically. Like you're allowing the negative stuff to come out and then be replaced with something new. Like you're literally allowing your body to heal itself. Whereas in traditional spirituality, once again, even though they're being present, even though they're being awareness, they're observing, whatever you want to call it, like eventually there's still going to be this like buildup inside of them if they're not always like present with their thoughts 24/7, which like no one really is. And so that's the reason that I strongly believe that spiritual teachers still age often quite rapidly like normal people. But I strongly also believe that we can stay younger and healthier longer if we learn to integrate the feminine, the childlike self as well. And that's what this is all about. Is, long story short, spending time like in imagination again. Being curious about something new existing, about the possibility of something new. And it also means just spending time in like open space, like kind of let yourself sink into your mind. It doesn't have to be a perfect meditation. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Just letting yourself sort of like sink into your body, like fall into it, right? Inside of yourself, and just like see whatever comes up. It's sort of like bubbles that just will come to the surface sometimes. And you'll just have these like new understandings or something. And if you find yourself feeling like you're going through a creative block, it doesn't mean that you need to speed up or try harder. It means that you need to slow down. Because if you've ever seen the movie Lucy, when you're going really fast, then it's almost like something didn't even happen. And that's what happens with us. We don't even realize these new concepts or new things because we're moving too fast in life to see them. And this is why someone like me, like I have all these understandings and I get all these downloads and people ask, where do you get them from? And I'm like, well, I've slowed down a lot in my life. Like I moved very slowly, so I've become aware of things that other people will just pass right by. They don't even see them. And so if you're wondering why you're not seeing something in reality, often doesn't mean that you need to speed up and go faster. It means that you need to slow down. Because even look at what we call life. Like we call it the human race, right? We're all rushing to get nowhere. We're all running in circles faster and faster and faster. And the faster you run, the less you're going to see. Because you're not going slow enough to see all the things that are already in your circle, right? But if you start to slow down and smell the roses, literally, like you'll see that they're already there. The flowers are already there. They're growing. And that way you can also start to acknowledge things that you need to uproot and cut out too. But yeah, slowing down is the key. It really is. Like, I swear, like if you're not having creative thoughts, like what you need to do is literally just release pressure also. So that means express any negative things that you feel are holding you back. Then leave space, go to bed, relax, do something else. And then later on, like you'll find that when you go back to like meditate or something later, like it might be easier. You won't feel so stressed anymore. Like, the way that you get creative thoughts to come up is not with force. Like, it's with less and less pressure. It's softening yourself. You soften yourself. You become more like this wave. You become open. And this is where you get into like that, people call it the void state sometimes. Like, you're not really trying to focus on anything particular. A way that I also like to do it sometimes is to think of like your entire reality around you is all made up of the same stuff, and just think of it in turning into just a canvas, like a white canvas. Like, every single object in your room is the same thing, right? It really is. So just imagine it all sort of like getting fuzzy and blending together. That's sort of what it's like to soften yourself. And you're also part of that canvas. So you're also softening with everything else in your reality. You're just blending into the white canvas and just letting it be there, or the black canvas, whatever you want to think of it as. And then you're just going to allow whatever comes up to come up. Like, it's a really like just non-forceful state, and you'll find that creative things often come up when you're not trying at all, because that's just the way that it goes, because they need a window of space to come in. They need time to come in. Like, and again, in the movie Lucy, when she says like the key is time, like that's really what it is. You need this like window opening for something to come in. So if you're always filling the gap with something, if you're always trying to fix, if you're always trying to plan your next move, then you're filling every single space, and you're not leaving any space for your higher self to come in and do something for you. And that's what receiving is letting your higher self do stuff for you instead of you trying to do everything yourself. Because I promise you, it's much easier when you let someone else take over the reins sometimes. And that is letting go of being this awareness and letting yourself be the child sometimes, and letting yourself sink in. And really, like, long story short, like what I'm saying with all this is like being a human. Like, a lot of spirituality has gotten us away from being human, like robotic affirmations and being awareness, detachment, like all this stuff is like forgetting one big part, which is we're human. We have emotion. We have these waves that move through us, and that's life. Look at nature, like it moves in waves, right? Like, animals are feeling all their emotions, and we're supposed to do that too. And that's the biggest part of it. And one other thing I want to point out also in terms of aging is, like, if you look at animals in the ocean, like the animals that grow the biggest and live the longest are the ones that are deep down in the ocean, like deep in the darkness, right? So think of that, like, the more space you have, the more open it is, the less things around you, like the bigger you can grow, because sometimes like fish often only grow to the size of their tank, right? Like certain fish. And so you're kind of like that. So if you keep making your windows so small and you keep boxing yourself in with all these beliefs and things that you have to do and whatever, it's kind of like you're limiting your growth. But when you start to expand and just be open to whatever and be curious again, it's like you start to make your box bigger. And so now you yourself can start to grow bigger. And as in, like, you can grow your understanding of the world bigger. You can grow this net bigger, and this net is what keeps you alive. It keeps you living. Like, growth is living, and when you stop growing, that's basically death. You collapse inwards eventually, and you don't come back from that at one point in time. So you want to keep growing and keep growing, and yeah, it's in the darkness that most of the growth happens. It's not necessarily in the light. But I hope this video is helpful. This was just rambling, so let me know what you think about my rambling. I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to post it as it is. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.